Welcome to MBC, where we talk money. We've got banter. We're doing it for the culture.
Serial winner.
Jeez. Hello guys, welcome again to MBC Money Banter Culture, where we talk money. We've got banter and we're doing it for the culture. We've got myself, Izzy.
We've got Jermaine.
And we've got Yoms, the Yominator.
No, Yomes today, no?
We gotta switch up a little.
And today we're joined by a very, very special guest.
Very, very special.
Very, very special. You don't do it enough justice.
You know what?
Say it with passion.
With passion,
Got
please.
very, 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 very special guests.
Increase volume, increase the bass.
The man cut AJ's hair. The man cut Storms' hair as well. The list goes on.
He's caught LeBron's hair as well.
Lebron James, that's right. The NBA player, by the way.
Celebrity barber, entrepreneur, speaker,
Author,
father.
shaping up culture.
Indeed. Indeed.
Multi-award winning celebrity barber.
See? Anyway.
Winner of the Black Business Award 2018.
Yeah.
Go mogul.
I think they get
The list goes on, man. We're gonna be here forever.
If we continue, yeah.
So we'd like to welcome Mr. Mark Maciver. Thanks for taking your time to come on the podcast.
No worries, thanks for having me on, guys.
So I don't know, is there do you want to give people a bit more of an intro about you and
What you do and
I do a lot of different things, but essentially it all revolves around cutting hair. So I do, youth outreach schemes in a barbershop. We do schemes like, fill it, where, you can come in and get help filling in forms. I do public speaking to advise, people on different things from business to, just the direction their lives are going in. So, I'll speak in jails, I'll speak on just different forums, podcasts and different things. So, generally just a public speaker. Obviously, I cut hair, as I mentioned already. I do brand collaborations, so I've been in adverts with Nike, Facebook, campaigns. I've been in GQ, yeah.
I had to drop that one in there too,
Campaigns with Reebok,
Wow.
Izetto,
Wow.
and others which I can't remember off the top of my head. Featured on the news a few times, like BBC, and just various shows. So basically, I'm a barber that is
He's a star barber, basically. He's
A big star.
He's a star barber.
I wouldn't call myself a star. I wouldn't call myself a star, but I'm trying to be more than just someone who cuts hair.
Absolutely.
You definitely are.
You are more than that.
Just cuts hair.
Yeah, author as well. So I've written a book,
So obviously, this is his book, Shaping Up Culture. So when I first read this book, it was I was just saying to him earlier. This was kind of when I was reading it. The book was like an embodiment of what we're trying to achieve with this podcast. So it's it's around shaping up the culture and also talking about business and entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
So which is pretty much what we do in this podcast. We the whole reason for this is because we want to help educate our community a bit more on
some knowledge and information
exactly, on matters concerning money, and then we're doing it for the culture, as we said. So
And then we always make sure we add a little bit of banter to the mix as well. Don't leave that out.
Exactly, man. Exactly. So, what was your, Mark? What was your inspiration for shaping up culture? What was the whole story behind it? I know you mentioned it in the book, but I'm sure there's bits and pieces which we don't know.
What did I not mention in the book? Well, because in the book, obviously, you've got limited words, so you can't be rambling on forever. But the inspiration behind Shaping Up Culture was simply, I work in a barber shop. I was talking to young people all the time. And it's not only young people, it could be older people, but generally it was young people. And I was seeing their mindsets towards life and the ideas they had and the things they just didn't know. So you're speaking to them about money, they don't really understand money. Even though some of these young people are making a lot of money, doesn't mean they understand money.
Absolutely.
Just the direction they were going in life, the choices they were making. So I was always just speaking to people about, you should do this maybe, or, go down this road instead. And have you thought about this? Or have you thought about your future or where this road leads to? And I just started realizing that a lot of people, you think a lot of people are willfully being ignorant, but they just sometimes just don't know.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
often those who are in the know, they think they must know. And they say that because they know themselves.
Because they know it,
They're
yeah.
like, they must know. They're just being stupid. No, they're just being ignorant. No, they know. And I was speaking to people, and I was like, actually,
These people don't know.
they
Don't-
don't
they
know.
genuinely don't
And that's where it came from. I was just speaking to people and realizing that they don't know. And I'm speaking to people about basic business things, and it's like it's a light bulb moment. And it's like, for me, it seems basic. But for them, it's like, I never saw it like that.
Yeah.
Like, basic thing of like, you should be ready to start work the time you open, not get into work at that time.
Oh, gosh.
And that's a basic concept, but there's a lot of people who don't know that.
Yeah.
So they think it's okay to stroll in at 9 o'clock when they start at 9 o'clock. Because they're like, the shop was open at 9 o'clock, but you weren't ready to serve at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
So and having all these conversations, I was just like, I could see these things, and eventually I started doing these online
The vlogs. And
vlogs, called Shaping Up Culture.
Absolutely.
And then from there, I wrote the book.
It was 10 to 12, wasn't it? And then you converted some of those.
Yeah.
into,
So I stopped when I did about 12.
Yeah.
I stopped and said, you know what? I could turn this
This can
into
be
a
a
book.
book.
I was like,
Yeah.
what if I did volumes, And I thought, so I stopped doing the online vlogs because I thought, let me focus now on writing a book. And at first I was going to take the blogs which I originally had done and just put them into the book. But as we took the blogs, because we wrote them out as well, and put them into the book, I was like, this doesn't seem right. And you just realised, writing an article is different from writing a book.
Yeah.
Completely.
Totally. So I
We've
had
got
to.
another book writer here as well.
Yeah.
On the
So
table.
he's also got a book called
The Everyday Investor.
yeah.
Oh, you got any on you?
Uh,
I'll buy one now. I'll buy a copy for myself, and I'll buy a copy to leave in the barbershop. We got a reading table.
That's nice, man. Yeah, definitely. I think your modes
Yeah,
make
I
the
really
arrangements for
appreciate
that.
that. I'm starstruck right now.
Stop it. Stop.
Yeah, well, I wanted to ask you actually, because obviously I've written a book as well, and you've obviously written a book. Like, how long did it take you to, from start to finish, to write this book?
It's a weird one because the book itself took me a few months to write,
Yeah.
but it took longer than that if you consider I had the blogs already,
Okay.
and so I had them from about a year beforehand.
Okay.
So it was easy for me to write the book because I already had all the
You
information.
had the material already.
It was more so just about how I'm gonna lay it out.
Put it
How do I want to put it together?
Yeah.
What chapters do I want to use? Because I had all these different chapters. What chapters do I want to use? What information do I want to keep and take out? And obviously going back and forth with the editor. He was like, take this out. It's funny because one thing people don't know about writing a book is everyone argues and has beef with their editor.
But I'll tell you, the kind of problem is I have with my editor.
Because it's personal to you, but for them it is their job, and their job is to to
Make
edit
it
it to a
look
point
good.
where it's like this is the body of work. But
Exactly.
then I'm thinking to myself, this point I really want in there. Like this is really
This is
a
a
good
good message
point.
I need to get across.
But that's the good thing about having an editor, because just because it's personal to you and you care that much doesn't mean that anyone else cares.
Precisely.
It's true.
Precisely.
Yeah, it took me a few months of writing. Mornings I used to wake up at 4 in the morning. I'd write for, I can't remember how long, but I'd write from 4 in the morning because it was good, because it was the summer. Yeah, just because it was the summer, the sun was rising at around 4.
Okay.
And the sun wakes me up anyway.
Yeah.
Mad.
So I was waking up, writing, before I went to bed, writing, on the bus, writing. It's funny because I wrote my whole book on my phone. Yeah.
That's dope. That is dope.
If
Kind
you
of
Kind of how
About
like
100 pages.
go to my
yeah.
notes, you'll see that all the different original kind of like writing. Put it,
You know what? Why
in it.
not?
Yeah.
Because you know, if rappers can write lyrics on their Blackberries, then why should
Why
you
can't
write
you?
a
Yeah,
book?
No,
right.
but I guess that makes sense actually, because you know when you write a book, obviously it's like you're putting bunch of pieces together. So like you might be on the bus, you might be on the train. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Let me just
It's
write
a
that
creative
down.
process
And then you
as
start
well.
writing stuff down. So like that kind of makes sense actually. Yeah.
So like so one thing when I was reading the book, there was one part where you talked about how you moved to, was it like Shoreditch, Hackney? There was basically like a Caribbean shop, and after the Caribbean shop closed, and you just didn't understand
why they were closing.
Yeah, but you thought to yourself, why are they closing? And you start to understand like gentrification. And I found that quite interesting because a lot of people don't pick up on little things in their community like that, and they don't understand why a lot of these businesses are actually going out of, why they're going out of business. So I found that quite impressive that you were able to pick up on that from like an early stage, as well as the part where you talked about how if you gave everyone 40k, your brothers had like a different idea of what they wanted to do with it. Whereas you said you wanted to get a factory and you sell things from it. So it seems like it seems like you've always had that entrepreneurial mindset. So like how
it starts from early though. From his mum, owning a shop or something like that. She always giving you chin to bag up and label and all that kind of stuff.
So wait, are you Nigerian?
Yeah, Nigerian.
I was surprised. I thought you were Jamaican at first.
I was like, because when I was like,
I was thinking Maciver, but
no, okay. The reason my surname came from my great granddad was adopted by a Scottish man.
Okay.
But he was adopted by a Scottish man in Nigeria. So he lived in Nigeria still. So the lineage continued exactly the same. So he was just adopted by a Scottish man, but then he still married a Nigerian woman.
Right.
And then his children married Nigerian women and Nigerian men. So nothing actually changed about our lineage. It was just that one person who was adopted by a Scottish man, then took on his surname, and then the surname like continued. So my original surname should be Alabi. My dad's original name should be Alabi, but he was, as I said, great granddad was adopted by a Scottish man.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice.
Interesting story.
I do like genealogy as well, but I also like to piece down my family lineage as well. It's I just wanted to throw that in. I don't know why. But
so like you build up an impressive contact list, and that didn't happen like overnight. So like how did this happen? Was it the grace of God, or was it just you reaching out and generally just reaching out to these guys and say, I'm good, I can cut hair, I'm very good at cutting hair?
Well, everything's given by God, innit? So essentially, life is given by God. So, it is generally all by His grace anyway. But inside that, I feel like we have free will, and He gives us free will within a certain realms. So, it's kind of like He doesn't, God doesn't particularly care whether you have strawberry cheesecake or cookies and cream. That's your choice. He's not kind of like affecting the fact that, you have to go down strawberry cheesecake, So within that, those realms, we have freedom and choice to do the things which we kind of want to do. And within that, I have worked hard and looked at maximizing my opportunities that have come around. So when it comes to like some of the clients I've cut, to the opportunities I've had, brand collaborations, they have come through essentially hard work.
Yeah, I'll definitely say that.
I'd say essentially hard work. It wasn't all thought out. It wasn't like when I started cutting hair professionally at 18, I had this idea of like, I'm gonna cut all of these people. I'm gonna do brand collaborations with this. I'm gonna be a speaker. I'm gonna do outreach. I'm gonna do, all the things where I'm gonna write a book. I never had all these plans, but essentially it all started off for me just working hard, wanting to be a good barber. And having this thing of wanting to not waste opportunities, and also just wanting to reach my full potential, whatever that was or is at the time. So that's why, people have asked me many times, what made you write a book? What made you go to speaking? What made you do this? What made you do that? And I just feel like everybody has different things. So you have your core career, right? So you could be a financial advisor, you could be a banker, you could be a postman, you could be someone who takes up the person takes out the bins.
Yeah.
Like you have your core, that's what you do as a core. But everybody has other things around that they want to do.
Absolutely.
Everybody, no one can say that's the sole thing they want to do, you know. But most people, through fear, say I'm not going to do that, and the fear comes from it's not going to work. You know, that's not my field. What are people going to say? You know, or you
Mindset.
know, it could be fear from what other people are going to say, to fear for you just feeling like you're going to fail. But for me, I've just been like, well,
you gotta try it.
try it. I see failing as not trying.
It's a learning curve.
Just you didn't add that into the book, the fear of failure, but you done a vlog. I was just thinking, that one would have been.
No, but I think he kind of
part
said.
Part 2's gonna have.
Part 2's coming.
Not
Okay.
yet, but in Shaping Up Culture Part 2, the fear of failure will be one of the chapters. There's so many chapters I haven't, because even like chapters that didn't actually even like weren't recorded as vlogs. You know, I have all these other chapters which could have been added into the book. Like because not every chapter that's in that book was one of the vlogs either. Shaping Up Community wasn't a vlog.
True.
You know,
Mark, can I just touch on something? It's very interesting. So fear of failure. What do you think that? Do you think people are afraid of what other people might say, or like actually afraid of failing? Because I find that like when I speak to a lot of people, like their mindset is that they're very scared of what other people might say.
Absolutely, I'm guilty of that. I can't even lie.
Actually failing in that initial project.
I think
What's your take on that?
I think there's a mixture of both, but I think heavily it's to do with other people.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like, and I even like the fear of failure when I done that vlog. It came from two major things. It was one, a friend of mine who I grew up with, who was always just not trying to do things. He had opportunities that came his way and he never took them up. Like not even like he never took them up. Not even like he never maximized opportunity. He just never
took it.
He just never even attempted it. Like you know, football trials wouldn't turn up.
Wow.
You know, just whatever it was, he just never. And growing up, I was always like, what is wrong with you? Like what is wrong with you? And then I was in church and there was this lady speaking and she was talking about the fear of failure and how much she's just scared of failing. That's the reason why she doesn't attempt things, and that's where that vlog came from. And I put the two together, talking about what her experiences were and my friend's experiences, although I never put his name on it. And it was a few years ago, I can't remember exactly what it was. I was just sitting with my friend and he actually said to me, do you know what, like he never really said this, he said I've never really said this, but he goes, the truth is I'm just afraid of failing. I'm always afraid because I'm so caught up on the idea of what people think. He goes, I always feel like, you know, people are going to judge me or they expect more from me or they feel like I'm supposed to get. I've got that. Like, you know, he's a good football player. So he felt like if he doesn't turn up for the trial, then no one can get at him. Because he didn't go for the trial. You know, if he doesn't go for the exam example, he never failed because
he didn't do it.
He didn't do it. So he can always be in a place where he can actually stand and be like, you know, I would have got that. I would have passed because no one can judge him. And I just remember thinking to myself, but I came to the realization that, you know what, well, you failed anyway because
that's the biggest L ever.
Yeah, you failed anyway because
you didn't even try.
Because if failure is not getting the thing that you want, then if you don't attempt it, then you failed anyway.
That's the worst because you won't even get feedback. At least if I do something and I might not pass it, fail a little bit, I'm going to get feedback. Okay, this is what I need to do. This is what I need to improve on. I'm going to improve on that and I'm going to come back again and I'm going to make sure.
And there's nothing even wrong with failing anyway.
There's nothing wrong with it.
I think it's mindset though.
You can't get everything you want.
No, you can't.
You cannot. You know, like this new attitude that everyone's got, kind of like, almost like if you just believe you're going to get it. You know, and you know, trust me, you know, if I go at it, you know, and I believe this and that, and I'm going to get it, and it's like, well, not particularly, because you know, there's 10 people going for a job, and they can all believe it, and not all of them are going to get that job, right? But my thing is, you want the job. The thing you don't want is not getting the job. So if you don't go for the job interview, then you failed anyway because you didn't get the thing that you wanted anyway. But at least if you go there, then you have a chance of getting it. You know, and at least you can, at least you have resolution in the fact of saying, actually, I went there and I never got it. So at least I'm clear. But the thing which I don't want in life is to look back and have all these regrets, thinking what would have happened, and maybe
if I would have
done this,
for that,
maybe if I'd have gone there, I might be here, I might be there, and I don't want that. So I'm happy.
That's the worst thing.
Failing quote unquote failing.
I don't even think it's failing.
I don't call it failing, but
it's a lesson.
It is.
I wouldn't call it failing, but what I'm saying is, if you see failure as the thing, if you see failure as not getting the thing that you want right, then I'll be happy failing. Then not attempting. That's silly. I'm failing anyway, you know, because I said, and this is what I said in it. Real failure is in not trying.
Yes,
that is real failure.
Yes.
I actually want to add on an example. I don't know if you guys know this story about Starbucks. Like Howard Schultz, he went to the bank 40 times.
Yep.
And he got rejected 40 times. The 41st time, he got the funding that he needed. And Starbucks today it's a $100 billion company. So like,
sometimes it's the same with Monopoly as well. The guy tried how many times? They told him it will never ever work. Over 60, 70 times, and then it landed, and now everyone plays Monopoly.
Same with the KFC founders, Colonel Sanders.
I feel like the bigger the hurdle, the greater the return, if you know what I mean. So it's just like
absolutely.
It's just like, also it was interesting you mentioned about even setting up the shop, like the stress you have to go through
in order to grow. I feel like chapter 5 is my best chapter in here.
It's funny, that's the longest chapter, and that's
everyone's
favourite.
Yeah.
And I even left out a lot of stuff.
Really?
Yeah, do you want to give us some exclusives?
I left out a lot of stuff because it was the longest chapter already.
Yeah.
And there was just so much more that was happening.
Man, we need to know.
So much that I remember this. Well, there's one thing I left out because I couldn't put it in yet because my wife didn't know how much we'd lost.
I was going to ask you that question. How you managed that with your wife?
She knows we lost money on this kind of investment I went into, but she doesn't know how much.
But you showed real balls in that chapter. I mean, buying a flat when you should have been saving for the we're doing all types of stuff. I was like, wow.
So you want to give us some exclusive as to, like, you know,
the other stuff that was going on.
So I guess to give some context, right? He had to get out a loan to basically finance the shop, and he also, at the time, he couldn't find any place to any leases, and he went to individual store owners and basically offered them offered them to buy their place, and there was one person that accepted but said he had to wait about, was it 18 months?
12 to 18 months, I think.
He said I had to wait till he sorted out his leasing issues. Now, he didn't mind even if I had moved in at that point, but the issue is I'm going to move in, but you haven't even got the lease in your name. So it means that means I'd fix up the place, and then it could just be like at the end of it, oh yeah, we didn't get the lease.
Oh yeah, that's a bit mad.
So I was like, so let's just wait. So I had to wait for him about a year and a half, whatever it was, to get the lease. And then during that period, this flat came available because I was living in a 1-bedroom flat with me, my wife, and my son. And I was like, okay, so this is a 3-bedroom in the same area. We need that because also we're gonna have more children. So, I just said, and I had this idea that I thought I need to really secure my family life first. Because at least
I thought that was the move,
And I thought at least if everything else fails, like even if I set up this business and it fails and it crumbles, at least it's kind of like we're on the streets. So at least I was like, if I get that home, it's a 3-bedroom, it's in the area which we want. You have 3 children, 4 children, they can share, you can be there for the next 10, 20, you can be there forever, to be honest.
Absolutely.
If you want to be. So I was like, I need to make sure my family life is set up first before I go into all these investments and these risks that I'm going to be taking.
Family has to come first. Family has to come first when it comes to these things.
So I've done that, but in doing that, so the flat came available, I bought it, but I never had the money, so I had to exhaust all of my resources to get the money up and I had to buy it on a buy-to-let, which means I had to put down 25%.
Because I was
still living in my place.
That's what I was like, the risk taking. This guy, I was like, damn.
And then because it was a second property, I had to pay a heavier stamp duty as well.
Absolutely.
So it was like, it was a lot of money I had to put down for it. So I've had to find all this money, and then it's like, okay, got the flat. Then it's like a few months later after getting the flat, it's like, the shop's available. I'm like, what? I'm like, I haven't got a penny, and not only have I not got a penny, I'm in crazy debt right now. So I've maxed out all my credit cards. I've
exhausted your friends and family.
I bought money off my mother-in-law. I bought money off my sister-in-law. I'm already out and behind, way below zero, you know, and then it's like this place comes available, and then the guy said to me, "Yep, this lease is sorted, you know, it's available," and I'm like, "Okay, that do you want it?" I just say yes, and then I'm like,
That's the
okay.
balls I'm talking about.
I'm like, yes, but I'm like, okay, so I need to find money, you know, the lease
Was it
cost
150 to 200 grand to find something like that?
In the area like that,
the
it's really
lease
expensive.
cost like 60. I had to put down 65,000 for the lease,
Mm-hmm.
but then the place was like demolished.
Oh,
Like the back room like just had a hole in the ceiling.
Wow.
So I had needed a whole new ceiling in the back room.
Wow.
It was, and all the walls had been molded.
Wow.
It
That's
was
a lot of
work.
it was rat infested.
Oh no.
Downstairs, the basement and the back was rat infested. So then we had to pay to have people come and not only exterminate, get rid of all the rats. I can't remember how many rats they said they found in there.
Oh no.
Wow.
But there was like, I can't remember. I don't want to lie about the number, but there's definitely. I remember them going to one room downstairs. You know, like, you know, in that one room they got like 40 rats or something like that.
40.
Wow.
Oh my days.
You know,
40 rats.
Not mice, rats.
No,
big,
rats.
big
rats,
ones. The
rats. So I remember at that point being like, yeah, I'm not going. At that point, I said, I'm not going there for like the few days. Like, you guys sort all of that out,
What
and
did
then
they use that for before? Like, what was it?
the funny thing is, one time when I went into the shop right before I got it, when we just like when I was getting the shop right, and I had like the architect come in, we were just checking it out right, and I remember we just saw this rat run across like a rat, like it's massive, and it's like, look what I'm taking on. You know,
that'll be good. What have I signed up for, man?
Rats all of that out. You know, I had to even like sort out like even like piping, like valves, because they said some of the rats were coming through the pipes or something like that.
Yeah,
Let's spend all this money on all that kind of stuff there. You know, then it's kind of like, you know, sealing up all the holes in the whole building. You know, all the holes, any holes, sealing it up. Just so much stuff, right? And it's just like, I haven't got no money and I'm in debt. So it's like, you know, how am I finding it? But I'll just like, you know what? And people are saying to me, like, how are you going to do this?
Yeah.
Because obviously,
The mental
I'm saying-
fortitude is.
I'm saying,
Your mindset, boy.
I said yes to it. So the guy's like, okay, cool, you know, we want the money for the lease. So that's like, and the deposit, that's like 65,000. And I've got zero. So I'm like, okay, you know what, give me, I can't remember how long I said, give me a few months, I said. I'm like, give me a few months to get the money. I'm like, you know, I said, no, how we do it is, I said, we'll do it in 3 payments, I think I said. So it'd be like, you know, 20,000, 20,000, 25, something like that, you know. So I said, you know, 1 month in, I'll give you 20,000. Next month, you know, this and that, you know, then because the lease wasn't going to be changed over yet. So he agreed to that, said, cool. So I was like, okay, so I've got this time to find that money. Then I also need to fix up the place at the same time. And then I was just like,
The struggle is real.
The struggle was real, you know, like even to the point when the shop was open, I opened up the shop, but there was still works going on. You know, I mean, it wasn't finished. You know, the first builders bumped me. You know,
Oh yeah, you said in the book. Yeah.
you know, they didn't finish the job, but they got paid in full.
Wow.
You know, but they put me in a position where they're like, we need the money now because of this and because we've gone overboard and this and that and resources and materials and all these things there. So I'm like, I don't want to give you the money, but if you walk off on the job right now, what do I do? But then they end up walking off anyway when they got the full money.
Wow.
Then I had to get more builders in to finish work. And then even that, they didn't finish the work because they done things which were like, I'm not a valuable lesson anyway from it, but they fixed up the place. But then things were happening where they subletted some jobs out. Like one of the jobs was they subletted out the roof. So I paid £10,000 to do the roof. So I'd already originally done the roof.
Wow.
And then but because it was done in summer, it wasn't raining. So when winter came and it started raining, leak both sides. But I'm like, man, these are supposed to be new roofs.
Just a quick one actually, because you touched on debt and we've spoken about debt before. Like, what's your view on debt? Because I feel like, especially in our community, a lot of people don't understand how debt can actually be used to start great things. They just like, there's a lot of people that associate debt with like badness. You know what I mean?
You can't manage money.
Bad
stuff.
spirit of
I feel like it's also just people not understanding the power of leverage.
That is part of business. Most people
you need it to grow.
There's a lot of people who have money and they will still go into debt to start a business because they don't use their own money.
Yeah.
You know, and so I'm I'm cool. I have to be cool there. I'm still in debt now.
I've got business debt, dude.
Yeah, but it's crossed over to personal debt, but for business and
purposes. I always say this: as long as it's to do with something that's going to generate money, grow your assets, grow your net worth, it's good debt. I don't even think it's bad.
As long as it's to do with a seed.
Yeah,
that's what we say.
Yeah.
As long as you know your debt's to do with a seed, because the seed grows. You know,
Exactly.
And not every seed might grow, but you know the purpose of it was for that thing to grow. So as long as your debt is based on a seed that can grow and actually surpass the debt that you have. But I think a lot of people have issues with debt. They have an issue because they think but you owe money. And I speak to friends in recent times especially. What I'm happy is that I've had a few friends who I've been reaching out to because they're gonna make silly moves, right? So I had a friend who owned a property. He'd owned it for like 20 years. He might watch this, so he might know I'm talking about. I'm talking about you. I'm not mentioning your name.
In what area is this?
He owned a property.
In what area?
In Hackney.
Okay. Oh, so that would have grown how many folds?
Yeah, like 20 years.
That's a lot of equity.
That's a lot
of equity.
And he's got a family now.
Yeah.
Like a big family, so he wants to sell his property to buy another place in another area, further out, big house, everything. Nothing wrong with the idea. But he wanted to sell his property, and I was speaking to him and I said, "You're gonna sell your property?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "But you..." He almost owes nothing on the property.
Wow.
Like he was a couple of years from paying off his mortgage. He was like, he was gonna finish paying off his mortgage in like the next 3 years or something like that. 3-4 years. And he was just like, yeah, but the reason why he doesn't want to is because he just wants to be kind of free of debt. He doesn't want to owe money, so he's gonna sell it. From what he sells it there, he'll buy the new property, or he might have like.
Well, he's gonna buy.
He might buy a place, and he might only owe like, I don't know, a few tens of thousands. Literally,
put that a hefty deposit.
Or more than hefty deposit. It'd be like
It's like 20 years.
He might have paid like 95% deposit.
Yeah.
Owe like £50,000 or something like that.
I think that's just such a dumb move.
It's a silly move, right?
Me personally, I think it's a dumb move.
It is, because
I think it's a dumb move.
It's a silly move, right? And I spoke to him about it, and we sat down and I spoke to him about it, and he said, okay, I explained to him why he shouldn't do that and why he should just take out the equity from his property instead, remortgage it, take out, doesn't matter about the figures, take out half of it as example, of the value of it, or even like 50-60% of the value of it, put it down on buying a new place, rent it out. I told him what his house could rent for. I said, rent it out. I said, the rental will cover the mortgage and the money you've taken out, basically, which is done, and then it might even cover some of the mortgage for the new place you've got.
Precisely.
So he spoke about it, he worked it all out, this and that, and then he decided to go down that route. So then he took money out, bought the new place. The rental from the place he used to live in covers the mortgage, the existing mortgage, he remortgaged, so covers the new mortgage, basically, the whole new mortgage, and it might, and some extras, which means you can take that extra and add to his new place, or leave it there to cover the tax he's gonna have to pay, right?
Okay, yeah.
But my point was, now you're in a situation, what you don't realize, now you're in a situation where that covers itself anyway. So it's not even a situation where it doesn't cost you any money. It covers itself.
Money's working for you.
Make money work for you.
And now, in the next 20 years or whatever it is, it's not even about you. Those could be passed on to your children.
Absolutely. That's why we're doing this.
And also my thing is, someone else is paying your debt. So we talk about debt and have issues with debt, and I've always told people, but when it comes to housing and renting out places, someone else is covering your debt. So I've got a property that I rent out, and I bought it. I've even taken equity out of it as well to buy the place, help me buy the place which I'm living in now, and altogether, I'll give real figures. Like, I rent out the property for £2,000 a month. The mortgage on it itself is about £600 and something a month.
That's 1.4 clean.
I've taken money out of it to help buy the place which I bought now. I took £70,000 out of that to add to, or £70,000 out of that to add to help me buy the place I'm living in now. I have to pay another £300 and something a month to that, so £600. So basically, my mortgage on there now is £1,022 a month. So I've taken a loan on my property. I've taken money out of the property, the original mortgage, and on top of that, I've even done a loan against the property. Right, which is now
like a secured loan.
A secured loan against property, because
it's like 2%, 2-3% interest.
You know, whatever the percent is, it might even be high. But every month I pay on that. I think I pay about £750 to that. So now you could say I've got the original loan, the original mortgage, £600. The equity I've taken out, £300 something. The loan I've taken against the property for £750 a month. And the tenants pay for all of it.
Yeah. Wow.
Because the £2,000 I'm already out for.
That's a beautiful deal.
And so that means it comes up to, let's say, being about £1,800. Then I have that extra £200, which covers the service charge, which is like £100 a month, £120 a month. The ground rent, which is like £10 a month. And it's like, you know, it's covering it. So I'm in debt, and that's heavy debt, you know. That's, you know, because that loan I take against the property is like £70,000. And this is all to do with the business and stuff like that. You know, it's all to do with the business, you know. These are all details, minor little details I didn't go into in the book because it's too long to talk about. But my point is that one property, which people are like, why don't you sell it and take the money out? It's like, why would I do that when I can take the money out anyway? And I could be put in a position where I'm letting the tenants pay that.
And you say that as well. On top of that, the property is going to go up.
And it's going to go up.
Like, you're going to get capital
growth.
It's going
to go up. It's going to drop. It's going to go up. And also every month.
And
every month, and I always say to people, every month, the money that they are paying is saving me money. It's like a savings. Because every month they pay a thingy, and
absolutely.
I owe less on my mortgage. That means. And every month that means if the money of the house, if the value of the house never goes up, right? Let's say it stays at let's say the property is valued at £400,000 as example. If that never goes up even the next 20 years, that doesn't matter because every month they pay, let's say, £400 to what I owe anyway. So I'm going that way anyway. So that means I'm still earning anyway. And that's what I've tried to explain to people. Even if the value of property never goes up, every month that you make a payment,
you're gaining more equity.
I am gaining more equity. I am making money.
Absolutely.
Which is good.
I'm conflicted because recently I just bought a property myself, and what you're saying is what I wanted to do. But I've moved in now and I'm starting to come off the plan. So so maybe I should stick to the principles and maybe go back home and let somebody cover the rent or the mortgage, I mean.
So I was gonna say, like, obviously you've mentioned earlier you've got a lot of
need some stories.
What some interesting stories about, like some interesting stories. There's some client confidentiality here.
Confidentiality, that's part of the service.
See?
What happened, and that's part of the reason why as well I would this is part of the reason why I can have certain clients as well, because when you have certain clients, it's about the haircut essentially, but there's a lot more because there's loads of good barbers out there. You know, you can be a good barber. So if, you know, this client X wants to choose one of us and he thinks all of our haircuts are similar quality, what makes him choose one person over everyone else?
It's going
to be the service you provide. It's going to be how they see you, like, are you someone who kind of like is out there chatting everyone's business? Do they think you're trustworthy? Because you've got to go to their houses. And there's loads of people who want to know where these people live.
Absolutely.
Are you going to be out there talking about where people live? Like, I never tell people where.
You can't say where Anthony Joshua lives.
I never say where anyone lives. Like, even when people ask where they live, I always just kind of like, almost like, I just say kind of like, you know, oh, you know, it's kind of like, you know, it's outside London. Like, I'm not lying about it. It's kind of like, you know,
outside London.
He lives outside London, or he lives on the outskirts of London, and people like that. You know, it's not. But I don't ever talk. Even the other day, like, and the other day I went from someone's house, right? It was a celebrity client to another celebrity client's house, right? And they were sorting out my cab, so they're like, you know, they were booking the cab for me, and I knew it wasn't an issue that, like, I knew they weren't going to do anything with this information, but even when they booked the cab, like, I gave them a different address. And then when I got into the cab, I told the cab man, no, we're actually going here. And the reason why, I thought, it's still my responsibility to make sure that no matter who it is, I'm not giving out your address. And right now, you're booking it for me. Even though you know this person, you know, and even though you're a big celebrity, massive celebrity, this and that, you know, yourself, when they booked the cab for me, I still kind of gave a different postcode to the area, but a different postcode. And when I got into the cab, I said, oh yeah, I know it says that, but, you know, can you change it? The postcode is actually this. Because, and these are all the things that add to the service which you're given, like that confidentiality, like, are you taking that serious? Like, you know, like, even when I cut some of these clients, I always film them first, now look over the clips before I put them up, because there could be things in the clips that shouldn't be there. There could be, you know, something shown that you don't want to be there. There could be something said that shouldn't be there, because I don't want something to happen to one of these clients. And then it came from my page. You know, on this thing there was a thing where you were saying this and you said that or whatever it is, and the source was my page. You know, so it's like I record it first, you know, just on my normal camera.
It just whilst you're barbering them, is it?
So you know what,
maybe at that point they're relaxed as well.
You know what I'm kind of here, right? I will film people, and then, you know, like for my Insta stories, I normally film it live, but I'll film them. Then afterwards, when I'm leaving, I will then, you know, look at the clips, go through the clips, then, oh, that's okay, okay, maybe that shouldn't be there. Or, you know, it might be things like, you know, I'm cutting someone's like, oh yeah, your niece was shown in that, okay, I won't put that one in. Because I don't know, you might not even care. You might put your niece on your thing, but it's like, I'm not going to put that, okay, your mum was in that clip because your mum walked by, okay, cool, I won't put that in there. And it might not be anything you care about, but for me, it's kind of like, I've got to be sensitive to that, you know, because, you know, there's your personal life, I'm in your house, you know, and I remember speaking to some of them and being like, all right, is that what you do? I said, yeah, and then they appreciate that. It's kind of like, you know, you're looking out.
It's an extra mile. It's like extra
mile.
And this is one thing I was going to say. So like, because, you know, people talk about supporting community and supporting business, but like, especially like black businesses, for instance. But the problem you get with that is, you know, you want to support black businesses, but you don't necessarily get the kind of service that attracts you to stay there. And that's what I keep echoing that sentiment, that like, it does, like, fine, we can support the community, but make sure that you're giving that good service that would actually entice people to come back, because that's how it is. That you gotta, if you want customers, you gotta sell a good product, or you have to sell
it's a relationship, you know. In any relationship, it's two ways. It's not one person doing all the work. One person should be loving, one person should be caring, one person should be kind, but the other person can just be a receiver and just sit there and do nothing. Like it's a two-way street. So even, I think I say that in the book. Yeah, I did say that in the book, where I said it's not good enough. I can't remember what chapter I think.
No, you did say it.
It's in the intro, I think.
Yeah, it's around there.
It's not good enough for, you know, the people just to support their local businesses and local communities. You know, but those businesses also need to provide a good service.
Precisely. This I've been studying for the last few weeks in depth across all platforms. One thing I've realised with you, which is very powerful, is that you're very active on social media.
The use of your social media.
You always bring out content, valuable content. You share knowledge, this and that. What's your thought process behind all of that? Because to me, social media now is like free marketing. If you're not on it, you're stupid, in my opinion. Could be wrong, but
I'm a pusher of using social media. If you have a business, if you don't have a business, then you don't need to be on social media if you don't want to be.
Absolutely.
You know. But if you have a business, when people say things to me like, oh, you know, I'm not really on that whole social media thing, and I'm like, well, no one's telling you to put pictures of you and your daughter up. Put your business up. How can you be a business and say I'm not really on that?
You need to have that presence.
I think you should even, like, if you're even thinking about starting a business, you should already start building your brand. So that when you launch, you have the leads already, and then you can start selling directly to the sources rather than doing that afterwards.
Start gauging interest.
For me, with everything I've done in my business career, I have never planned things to the point where it's like, you know, I'm going to launch on this date and I'm going to, you know, set up the page as example, but I'm not going to open up the page until the date we're launching, and I'm not going to do this until that. I've always just, as things have come into my head, I just done it.
I'm like that as well.
So if I was thinking about opening up a barbershop, I open up the social media page straight away. Straight away. It's on now. If I was thinking about products, and it doesn't always mean that it worked out in the best way. But if I felt like I was going to sell products from my barbershop and I had the money then and I had the time then, I was like, okay, cool. I ain't got the barbershop yet. I've got a social media page. Okay, I'm going to buy the products now. I just kind of like, I'm not saying it always worked out to be good, but I was just always kind of like, as soon as something came to me, I'm starting it. I'm just doing it.
You talked about also sliderware as well, and how you put loads of money behind it. But
when I look back, not the most money, but back then when I was 18, that was a lot. That was a lot of money. I spent thousands on sliderware. You know, basically all the money I made from barbering, I put into sliderware. You know, and I just gave out all the stuff. You know, basically I sold some stuff, but I gave away most of the stuff. You know, and
but
at the time,
that helps though, giveaways.
It helps, you know.
As long as it's the right people.
I got, you know, Richard Blackwood wore it on TV. Ooh. At that time, we're talking about like 15, 16 years ago.
Oh wow.
You know, I remember Kojo, the comedian. I remember he wore it he used to do this Sunday comedy show thing. I
Oh,
remember,
yeah.
I remember him wearing it there, and I just gave it to him before the show. I was just like, look, I got this thing, this brand,
just wear it.
hat, this and that. And he said, all right, cool, thanks for that. Then I was in the audience, and he was wearing it while he was hosting the show and doing the show. You know, so I know there's putting up like some of my friend's video, Jared. It's called Soundboy. He had this video.
Soundboy. Wait. Soundboy, like old Soundboy. Does he have a song with Doctor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the name?
That was the what was it? Channel U days.
Yeah.
Sing again.
And I never wanna say bye-bye.
And I never wanna see you cry. I don't remember that.
That was a banger. That was a banger.
This is time ago.
But the song he had before that, he had it all in his videos. Everyone was kind of wearing it in his videos.
So you've been about for time.
Trust me.
You've been about for time.
So yeah, I just put it out there, but I lost the money. But it was kind of like whatever. I didn't mind, to be honest.
We should round this up. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule, because you know what, I was on slidercuts.com.
You saw the price.
And it's not even the prices. I was gonna book an appointment.
I'm definitely gonna book it.
No, I was gonna book an
yeah,
appointment.
yeah.
And literally, I was like, let me go for a head barber, which is you obviously. And I was like, there was no free time. I'm just like, yo, this guy is booked up.
Yeah, so what I liked was the way you created revenue stream.
Yeah.
Yeah. This guy.
So, just the sheer fact that you're here today, we really do appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
100% appreciate
It's
it.
been a great conversation. I think this has been one of the
Best comment.
one of the better conversations.
Yeah.
Like, it's just
Hopefully this conversation helps spark,
I feel like we need to do a part
community.
two or something.
Let me know.
Yeah.
See how I'm trying to get him booked on camera.
Let me know.
Go get the book.
Definitely.
Shaping Up
Definitely.
the Culture. It's what I got it £4 on Amazon.
You've got Amazon
Prime. You
yeah.
get it a day. Is it Amazon Prime £4?
I got mine Amazon Prime.
Yeah, Amazon Prime £4. Original price £5.
Okay. Anyway, I don't know. Do you want to give them your socials, or how they
People have these socials already.
To reach me simply, it's Slider Cuts. It's there, SLIDER CUTS, one word, on every platform. My website, slidercuts.com, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Snapchat, Facebook, whatever, TikTok, even though I haven't, I'm not really doing anything on it, I don't understand it. But I make sure I sign up to every platform under Slider Cuts. And that's an important tip, guys. If you have social media platforms, if you've got a name that you like, you've got a brand name, then make sure whenever anything comes out, just sign up. Even if you're not going to use it, but own your name on all the platforms.
Yes.
I like that. And also, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share these posts. Share these episodes.
I'm subscribing today.
Yeah, thank you very much. And also make sure that you follow the social media, the same thing. So it's at MBC Podcast. That is at MBC Podcast on Instagram and Facebook. However, on Twitter it's slightly different. I'm afraid I couldn't get that handle. It's MBC D Podcast on Twitter. And thank you for tuning in, guys.
It's been a pleasure.
It's been great conversation.
Yeah, man. So yeah, MBC Money
Banter Culture.
Yeah.